El Mencho's scary death threat video to TV reporter. El Mencho, as a representative of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, I'm directly addressing the news outlet Milenio. I'm not against freedom of expression, but I'm against those who directly target me. But you, Azucena Uresti, there's one thing I'm gonna let you know. Don't be fucking stupid and tone it the fuck down. This morning, a group allegedly linked to organized crime issued threats against several media outlets and directly targeted at me for the journalistic work we did at Michoacan. Because I assure you, if you don't tone it the fuck down and you keep targeting me, I promise you that wherever you are, I'll get you. And I'll make you eat your words. Regardless if they accuse me of femicide. As reported by Mexico City's government, I have enrolled in the federal protection system. Latin America is one of the regions with the highest risk for practicing journalism. For 4 consecutive years, Mexico has been the highest risk for practicing journalism. For 4 consecutive years, Mexico has been the most dangerous country for the press. Mexico, once again, is the most dangerous country on the planet for journalists. In comparison to war zone countries like Ukraine and Israel, according to the International Press Institute, the number of unalived journalists in our country make up 21% of journalists unalived on the entire planet. Today, the extent of power, media influence, and narrative control held by all active Mexican cartels in the country is significant. Mexico is consistently ranked as one of the most dangerous countries for journalists, with local reporters operating in areas of cartel influence facing the highest risk. It's a rock and a hard place. You're sitting there, you see the people getting oppressed, but if you talk about it, the oppressor come down on you. A journalist is ill-equipped to face what these guys are coming with. Coverage of Mexican cartel members, bosses, and their legal activities can result in an unaliving sentence, not only for the journalists, but for their families and friends as well. You can't have a job. Milenio Television, one of the largest cable news channels and newspaper publishers in Mexico, is well acquainted with reporting on everything related to cartels. One of Milenio's most prominent news anchors, Azucena Uresti, well known for her reports on the latest cartel developments unfolding around the country during her primetime network show. In her nightly newscast, Uresti consistently reports on incidents of cartel violence and the emergence of self-styled civilian militias formed to defend communities against organized crime. I would like to talk about these people that they keep claiming are protecting these towns, these mini cartels or whatever that are these militias that are fighting back. I'd like to look into those and see what they're talking about. A day after Uresti's broadcast report, CJNG circulated an online video targeting the famous national news anchor herself, further highlighting the alarming reality that no reporter is safe in Mexico. In the 2-minute video, Azucena Uresti is the target of a death threat delivered by El Mencho, seen surrounded by masked and heavily armed men. Seated behind the table, El Mencho accuses Uresti of unfair and untrue coverage of recent events, warning her to stop disparaging his character or face severe consequences. As a representative of the CJNG, I'm directly addressing the news outlet Milenio. I'm not against freedom of expression, but I'm against those who directly target me, especially since you're being paid off by these self-defense militias, who are actually drug traffickers, which is what I wanted to know, especially when supposedly that's who pulled over. I don't know if y'all remember Logan and I don't know, Andrew or whatever their name was, that got pulled over going to see his mama in Cancun. They got pulled over. They were in a panic. He was telling the story and he was saying, oh, this was just a militia defending their town. Are these really the militias defending their town, or are these guys just trying to have their own little cartels and not be bothered, and they're fighting for their territory? Regardless, it is what it is. Especially since you're being paid off by these quote-unquote self-defense militias who are actually rug trafficking, pretending to be civilian self-defense militias. I doubt the government doesn't know by now that they're not civilian self-defense militias, due to the type of weaponry they carry. They also regularly commission the creation of narco tanks, with each one carrying a price tag of 100 grand. A price too expensive for any regular civilian self-defense militia. A price too expensive, like paying $20,000, $30,000 for an underage girl from a catalog. Who's paying those prices? Rug lords. That's who's paying those prices. Being that they're rug traffickers, well, if you could even call them that. Because in reality, they're extortionists who don't make enough money trafficking rugs to cover their expenses. And you, at the Milenio, are receiving money from these extortionists. and kidnappers. And all I'm saying is be fair. And don't lean on one side of the story. I be trying to be fair over here, right? I be trying to give the children a chance. All I get is hate in the comments for it. You know, right next to the love, though. And Mencho said, don't get involved in problems that don't concern you. Because I've never attacked any news station. Because they have never directly targeted me. But this particular woman, if you could even call her that, Azucena Uresti, because the real women who work hard to do it with pure pride and they don't hide behind any television station or news programs. But you, Azucena Uresti, there's one thing I'm going to let you know. Don't be fucking stupid and tone it the fuck down. Because I assure you, if you don't tone it down and you keep targeting me, I promise you that wherever you are, I'll get you. And I'll make you eat your words. Even if they accuse me of femicide. Because you don't know me. The video threat went viral and made headlines across Mexico. Uresti would respond to the threats on her primetime network show the very next day.
This morning, a group allegedly linked to organized crime issued threats against several media outlets and directly targeted me, due to our journalistic work in Michoacan. Always, with the teams I lead, we seek balance and confirmation of each piece of information we present. We will continue without biases, providing accurate data and precise facts that reflect what is happening in the country. As reported by the government of Mexico City, I have joined the federal protection system under the federal government's responsibility. I reiterate that our work will always be grounded in truth, with the intention of reporting the reality of our country. Furthermore, I express, as has happened on other occasions, my solidarity and support for hundreds of colleagues who are under threat or have had to leave their places of origin but continue to demonstrate the courage to inform and the love for this profession.
As of today, Uresti is alive and well, but has recently resigned from her prominent news program at Milenio. Got out of there. A year later, a similar case occurred with journalist Rodulfo Montes, who received a call from CJNG Sicarios notifying him that he had an open contract on his and his family's heads. Rodulfo Montes covered cartel issues plaguing the country for over 17 years and emotionally pleaded his case to the current Mexican president, Lopez Obrador, at his daily morning press conference event.
Gracias.
Mr. President, they threatened me with death. Who threatened you? Please, Mr. President. I'll hear you out. I've sat through all of your conferences. I've recently received a call on July 8th. Give him a microphone. Federal Protection Services have taken away my escorts. Today at 2 a.m., my daughter had to leave the country. I'm going to the prosecutor's office to ratify my complaint. I want to identify the aggressors. I want to regain my peace of mind. We'll keep supporting you. Someone will stay here and the Ministry of Security will talk with you. I want to know who's behind this threat. They presented themselves as CJNG. People all over the world listen to this conference, Mr. President. If Mr. Nemesio Ceguera, El Mencho, put a contract on my head, I need him to let me know by any other means. El Mencho will soon make a response video, boy. Mencho comes with receipts on a regular basis, evidently. Good morning, good afternoon. Through this video, I address y'all radio communicators, all radio communicators and journalists. I want to make it clear. Hold up. I want to make it clear. I want to make it clear I do not interfere with the media and that I, El Mencho, disassociate myself from the threat received by journalist Rodulfo Montes. I am not against freedom of expression. On the contrary, I support it because I believe people should be informed and know what is happening around them. Mr. Journalist Montes owes me nothing whatsoever, and I would never involve myself with women, children, or innocent people, as they have nothing to do with it. Therefore, I want to reassure Mr. Montes that he has no reason to be weary of my cartel, the CJNG. On the contrary, I reiterate my friendship sincerely, Mr. Mencho. Rodulfo Montes is still alive today, but Mexico's cartel censorship problem remains rampant in the country, where unfortunately there are no apparent signs of this alarming trend slowing down in the near future. And think about that. You just got jerk-offs calling around saying that they run with so-and-so and they're with so-and-so and threatening people, and, you know, it probably ain't got nothing to do with them now. Here's another thing I ask you animals in the comments, right? That are always screaming rat, 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 right? Supposedly, what's up with every time that somebody gets popped off in Mexico for like the surfers or this or that, it seems the cartel's the one turning them over. They're not snitches though. Shut your stupid asses up.